Cheers. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of The Changing Room, where we are back with three new topics that we will discuss quickly. Our first topic for this week. Am I first? You first?
I think you're first.
Okay, I'm first. Is the Issey Miyake and Apple iPhone collaboration. Visually, I love it. I think Issey Miyake is such like a classic, clean brand, and it's a personal household favorite. And I'm also a small bag girly, so I think I love the texture of it based on what I can see. I haven't gotten to touch it yet. Maybe, Raina, maybe one of your influencers, they'll send it to them, and then you'll get to kind of like you can weigh in on it or some shit like that, or I'll just bite the bullet, buy it, whatever. But yeah, I love the way it looks. I love the colorways. Is it necessarily something that we need now? No, people don't have healthcare. Like, so food stamps about to get cut off. So it's a little insensitive that this is like dropping now, something stupid like that. Yeah, but it's cute. Like,
Okay, gagged. Facts. Okay. Wow.
and the fact that I'm laughing after saying that is crazy. But like, I
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
real, like.
Other one was so fucked. Okay, what okay, my thoughts on the collab. When I think about like Steve Jobs, the little I know about him as a person, other than that he founded Apple, is like I think about his uniform. Everyone knows he wore a black t-shirt every day. I did not know that it was Issey Miyake until recently. But it feels aligned. Like when I think about brands that kind of constitute as like a personal uniform in a way, like Issey Miyake definitely comes to mind. So I kind of love it. And something about like maybe it's how like modern Issey Miyake is and like textured and like something about it is also in line with Apple. Like it all just makes sense to me. Do we need it? Once again, no. Am I gonna buy the bag? Also, no, it's not my style, but like I love that it exists. Not that we need anything new because our world is like literally falling apart, but besides the point.
Okay. And I just want to say, like, that just really highlights the unseriousness of like marketing and like, I mean, it's art, right? Like, someone created it and now it gets to drop. Like, but it's also like at the end of the day, as far as buzzworthy things, like it's like, oh, I will drop the case. Like, it's just like, bro, like, okay, like you got to keep things into perspective sometimes. But with that being said, um, I do like it. It's not necessary. I do have like the Isamiaki Bao Bao bag, and I saw like the renderings where like they have it like tied across and it like hangs down. And I was like, wait, that's kind of like a cunt labubu, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so I think it's a cool, like more chic answer to that trend, which I didn't really get to get into. Not that I wanted to, but I haven't gotten to execute a little keychain moment. And so this feels like the mother of all keychains. So I do love that in that sense. But when I
One
also, real quick, I just looked at the colorways. I actually would have preferred if it was a little bit more like monochrome, honestly. But in another like way, I complain that Skims is like too monochrome. So like maybe it is good to like, have some color options at the end.
Okay, I agree about the color options. I hate them, but I think like it reminds me of how the iPhone 5C came out in all these like heinously bright colors. So I think it's almost like an ode to that. However,
Mm.
I do think that the juxtaposition of it is funny because Steve Jobs only wore a black Issey Miyake t-shirt. Therefore, I feel like it's more inherent for them to only put out like a black and a white, but nonetheless. Um I had something else I wanted to say about it, but I don't remember. Oh, yes, I do. I don't know what the price point is. I'm very curious to learn that.
230, I think, or like in that
Oh,
range.
really? Oh, actually, that's a lot cheaper
Yeah,
than I was expecting, which is probably alarming for like my spending analysis skills.
that's crazy. I thought you were gonna say more than you were expecting.
Nope.
See, the standards are high.
Yeah,
Okay.
God.
Next topic. Okay, this one's kind of a fun one. What would we do differently if we were just starting in fashion, or what would we tell ourselves? Let me go ahead and start my clock. If I was just starting in fashion, I would say honestly just go for it. I think I spent a lot of my early time like dabbling like sticking my feet in like the idea of doing something. Like at first I actually like origin story, like besides retail slash I was starting a clothing brand with my friend. That's really kind of how I started out. And then quickly like realized that like something about it like wasn't 100% hitting the mark, and then realized that like I really liked the styling aspect of it as opposed to like the brand creation at that time. Now, I'm not saying down the line I wouldn't do it, but yeah, like just be a little bit more bold with it. Like uh I'm out of 30, but I'll elaborate more.
Okay. I think the best thing and like something I recommend to anyone that asks me about working in fashion is never be afraid to like do it. I think our fear of being
Perceive.
fear of being perceived holds us back from me like reaching most of our goals. And by I met Diamond because I cold DM'd her having no connection, and Diamond's literally the reason I'm doing absolutely anything I'm doing now. I owe my entire life to her. So never be afraid to send a message, never be afraid to ask someone to meet for a coffee because you never know where it'll lead you. And at the worst case, you get a no.
T. Yeah, I think that's definitely something that I really admire about you. It's just like your tenacity. Like if there's a way to get into the room, Raina's gonna make it happen, like period. And not saying I didn't have that when I was your age, but I think I wasn't afraid to necessarily reach out, but I was also a little bit more like maybe put parameters on myself that didn't necessarily need to be there. Like, oh, like why would I message her when I haven't done this yet? Like, let me wait until this and then I can do that. And it's just like if you play that game, you're going to be waiting for forever, right? Like it's like there's always going to be a reason why you feel as though like you might not be ready for it, or you can always convince yourself a reason to stay on the sideline a little bit longer in preparation, but it's not really about perfection, it's about action, right? So I think that's definitely something that if I could go back and do it at an early age, just like get out in the field with it, girl. Like, and it's okay if you're not perfect while you're doing it.
Well, thanks for that little hype moment. Yeah, I think my biggest, it wasn't like I'm honestly really proud of the way I kind of entered the industry. The one thing I wish I did more to this day, it's something I struggle with, is I have a lot of anxiety around putting myself out there in person. I'm really good at cold DMing and reaching out to strangers. But when I'm in the room, like when I'm in a new room with strangers, I can be quite introverted, which is when you get to know me, I'm not. But in that environment, it is really difficult for me to introduce myself to people, to really put myself out there and connect with others. If you are getting into the industry now, the best thing you can do is like be your own advocate, especially in person. It makes such an impact. Every time I've done it, it's worked out well. It's just I'm so awkward and bad at it that that is something I'm still working on.
Not a rebuttal, but just like a life thing. I was like, it's not necessarily, and this isn't for you, this is just like in general, like whoever's watching, like as far as in the fashion field, it's not necessarily about being the loudest or like the boldest per se, even though I did just say I want to be more bold. It's just about being rememberable or memorable, not rememberable. So it's like you can have like impactful little moments with people that, you know, you cross paths with them again at the next event, and then now it leads to a brand opportunity or it leads to you getting invited here and then you meet this person. But if no one remembers you, it's fairy dust, right? And you're kind of left having to be scrappy in whatever way. So being memorable, I feel like, is important in those spaces. T. Okay. Our last topic, dream brand collab or styling gig. This one's fun. Let me go ahead and start. So this is really funny considering the conversation that Raina and I had earlier before we were starting about whether we like movies or not. But I feel like I have a whole giant Rolodex of things I can just keep listing as like what I'd like to do would be a dream collab or dream brands, etc. But I really think for me right now, like as far as taking my career path to a new space and something that feels and has always felt like something I wanted to do is the costume design for a movie. I could get me a little Oscar with it. And I feel like it's just the ultimate challenge. Like not only, I mean, they're styling real people stories, but then you're styling these fictional character stories, and you're essentially having to adapt to this whole sometimes fictional world. Like there's no, obviously there's references that they pull, but it's just all pure imagination. I feel like that would be definitely like top three of like my career things I'd want to do.
Yeah, that's sick. I think that would give me so much anxiety to like have to do an entire movie, but like love that so much for you. I think my dream job or like a gig would be to be hired by one of the like, original Antwerp Six. So being hired by like Andy Meister, for example, to help them style like a new collection and in like with that new collection style like an editorial
Mm.
for a magazine feature. Slash help them do like creative direction. I think kind of marrying all of that together would be ideal for me. Also, I love the Antwerp Six and kind of that fashion is very aligned with my own personal style and the work I enjoy doing the most. So I think that would be really exciting for me. And I've never even been to Antwerp, so I also want to go to Antwerp.
T. I don't even know where that is. Where is that?
My parents went. It made me so mad. My parents went and didn't like it because they're stupid and annoying.
Is it
It's
like,
in Belgium.
oh, I literally was gonna say, is it like Brussels?
It's near Brussels. I want to go so bad. The fashion there is the architecture is so sick. Ugh, I'm like when my parents went, they're like, oh, it wasn't for us, but like we saw these stores that you would like. And I was like, bro, literally, like I hate you guys so much.
Love that for them. Icons.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
like, man,
I think I have a rebuttal. Okay, I feel like just a few other things I want to do. I definitely would want to have like a press tour run with like a musician. But I mean like Grammys, VMAs, like full press tour run. Potentially. As I'm saying that, I'm actually like, I don't know, that might be a lot. Not in the sense of work, but in the sense of that, like, obviously, like when I think VMA fashion, I'm just like, I don't really love that. Like, does anyone even go to those anymore? So I don't know. We'll keep that on the table. And then obviously getting to style like a major campaign with like a major fashion house, meaning like think Gucci, think Chanel, think whatever. Do an editorial with one of that, period.
I think it would be so fun to do a press tour because like people analyze the shit out of them. So like that'd be cool. But for me, I would want to go on tour with an artist, like a musician, and style their tour. I think that would be really fun for me. And I love music. So I feel like it would be very much so marrying my interests and also would be challenging to maintain a look, but be different enough that like it's not getting redundant in a sense, if that makes sense. And like I think it would be fun to be on a tour bus. I don't know.
A
If
tour
this
bus is like my worst nightmare.
I think it would be it's like sleepaway camp. I think it'd be so fun. But this is all while I'm young. Like I'm not doing that when I'm past
Right.
20.
Okay, right. When you're 31, you
Like even
know.
I'm old like you, like I wouldn't want to do that
Although,
either.
in all fairness, even when I was your age, I don't, it still would have been my worst nightmare. I've always been
I
uptight.
would only want to do it if I was homies with the artist though. If there was bad energy, that would be my nightmare. But if we were all like kicking and it was like a vibe, then it would be sick.
I feel that. Are we touring through the US? Because if that, then no. But like tour bus vibe, like in like Europe, then yeah.
Yeah, we're in Europe.
Okay, T.
Artists I would style like I don't know.
When you say tour bus, I just think like tour bus stop at like a random gas station, like Kansas
Ugh,
or like
yeah, no.
random places
I
that.
want it bougie. Like I want it to be
Okay,
like,
okay, okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
Euro
not
tour bus tour vibes. Yes. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but okay, that's it for this episode of our 17th episode. Damn.
That's so crazy. It's been
Yeah, I know,
17 weeks.
literally. How many? 17 weeks is crazy. Like,
Yeah, bro.
wow,
Go
commitment.
fast. Consistency.
And we need y'all to be commenting and interacting with us more.
Yeah, God.
Even like
This is the
crickets
echo chamber.
and crickets. But anyway, that's it for this week. Let us know questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, DM down below, comment section, whatever. Otherwise, we're out. See ya.